So now in terms of conversion, how do you convert from degrees into radians, from radians into gons or grads, and so on and so on and so on. Before we get really into this, I want to give you guys a general idea of what conversions are. So let's say that we start off with 12 inches, right? And we all know that 12 inches equals to 1 foot, right? So this is a known fact. This is what we call a math fact, right? It's a definition of what the unit are. Okay, so we are not questioning this. Now, if I now go somewhere and I say, all right, hey, listen, I see something here that is 3.25 feet. Okay, sorry, not feet. Let's go with, feet. How many inches is that? So what you actually are doing is pretty interesting. And, I know you know the answers. It's pretty simple, but I want to show you guys what's actually happening. So what you're doing is you're actually going to here and say, okay, I want this answer to be in inches. So I am looking for something that will get rid of feet and create inches, which means I need a unit that has feet on the bottom and inches on top. Okay. Now, where do I get such a unit? Well, right here I have an equality between them. And all I need to do in this equality is I need to divide it. So I'm going to adjust this by 1 foot. And I'm going to get 12 inches divided by 1 foot equals to 1. Now, 1. This is a 1 with no units. I want to point that out. So no units there whatsoever. Now, mathematically speaking, would you agree that I am allowed to multiply anything I want to by a 1? Which is by this. Which means I'm allowed to multiply anything I want by this because it is equivalent to a 1. So that means I'm now going to go here and say that's times 12 divided by 1. Now, these units cancel out. I'm left with my inches, perfect, and 3.25 times 12 is like 36 and 40. So there we go. That is 40 inches. Okay. So again, I'm not as focused on this answer. I'm focused on how did we really get there. So notice the trick is this is a very fancy 1 you're multiplying by. But where do you get that fancy 1? From a math fact or from an equality statement, from a definition of the units. Now, of course, if I start off with, let's say I start off with, 16 inches, I would now go to the same thing right here, and I would say, wait, I want something. I'm going to start off with 12 inches equals to 1 foot, and I'm going to divide by 12 inches so that my 1 is now 1 foot, divided by 12 inches. Now notice this over here is a 1. I'm going to take this 1, plug it in there, but I'm going to plug in this version of it, which is 1 foot divided by 12 inches, and then just let the math do its thing. The inches cancel out, and we have 16 over 12 feet, which gives me, roughly speaking, 1 1/4, apologize, a third foot. Okay. Whoa, that is a big mistake here. So this was actually 39. I apologize for that. So, good with this? That is conversions for you. Now, let's adjust this to our units or our conversion units for for these degrees. So we have 360 degrees equal to 2 pi radians, and quite frankly equal to 400 grads. All of those are equations. Now, let's say that I wanted to take and convert this. If I wanted to convert this into degrees, I would go here, convert this into, by dividing by 2 pi radians, I would get a 1 equal to 360 degrees divided by 2 pi radians. And that will be my 1 that I'm multiplying by. So this is times 360 divided by 2 pi radians. And, or just 2 pi. Notice that the pi's cancel out. Don't have to deal with them. And 360 divided by 60. So that will turn into just a 60 right there. And the 6 is gone. Divide that by 2. So this will turn into just a 30. So we're left with 330 degrees. Now let's say that I wanted to get into the grads. Okay, grads is now these two things. Okay, so the equality statement is 360 degrees equal to 400 grads. I want grads on top, degrees on the bottom. I'm going to divide by 360 degrees, and the 1 equals to 400 grads divided by 360 degrees. Right there. Which, yeah, sure, you can simplify it into 40 divided by 36 or 10 divided by 9. That is up to you. But here we go, times 400 grads divided by 360 degrees. So notice degrees cancel out. That is a unit. 0, 0 cancels out. So this ends up being, right here, this is going to turn into 11. This is going to turn into 12 when I cancel this out. And I'm going to have, ooh, look at this. This is going to cancel into 4 times 100. This is 4 times 3. So these 4's cancel out. And I have 1100 divided by 3 grads. So all of these are therefore equivalent. 11 pi over 6 is the same as 330 degrees is the same as 1100 over 3 grads. All of those equivalent. All right? So please remember this lesson. Please remember how to create your own conversions. That is actually a big, important part of the lesson. So don't do it blindly. Don't memorize it. Learn how to do it, and you'll be able to convert any units. In fact, when I work with physics students, I generally just look at the units to see if their calculations are correct. Hopefully you will, take that torch and carry it with you. All right, good luck.